Hello everyone, welcome to Scorched Earth Toys at anymoon.com's classic toy review of the Matchbox Battlepod. Inside the box, you got the stuff you needed to put the Battlepod together. As you could see on the instructions there, there was a few different parts that needed to be clipped into place. Then you also got instructions and stickers, and of course those instructions told you how to install the stickers. You also got an invitation to the Robotech fan club. Once you pulled your toy out of the box and assembled it, it would look like one of these three variants. They were produced potentially in three different factories, not entirely sure why the variations, but you can see one has gray legs, and then there's two different types of blue used on the other types of Battlepod. So paint variations depending on probably where the toy was built. Now, the toy doesn't have the kind of articulation you would see on a modern toy, but there is some fairly basic articulation here. There's a nice pivot at the waist, which is generally what you would do. Now, you can see you can't really move the head lasers too much. They just pop on. This was part of the assembly you had to do. So you have a very limited range of motion there. Then you have limited range of motion on the chin whisker lasers. You do have the ability to pivot these boosters on the side. They can go all the way around. Then you have your ability to swing the legs back, like so. And then I think Matchbox called this a different mode. This was and they called this a transformation essentially, because now it's in flying mode. But all we've really done is sweep the legs back. There's a knee. Mine is too springy. Makes it hard to stand. But you can see there's a very limited range of motion. And there's also a toe. So those come together to get your toy to stand. But you can see mine, because of the springiness, tends to fall backwards unless I bring it way forward or make it stand on its toes. Matchbox's big plan was to compete with G.I. Joe toys in the 1/18 scale action figure market, and as such, they went ahead and made this toy have an opening door and let you put a figure in the cockpit. So this was the one and only Regult toy to this day that allows you to put a figure inside, so that is kind of a cool gimmick to have. A lot of this not necessarily accurate as far as size is concerned, and in order to accommodate this, they had to put in this kind of this lump right here so you could have a place for that hinge. And on my particular toy, that door doesn't sit quite straight. It seems like it kind of shifts over to one side. I could probably clean up a little plastic somewhere to alleviate that, but something that you might see on other versions as well. So at roughly 27 centimeters and roughly 1/60 scale, you might feel the urge to put this toy next to your Yamato V2 or Yamato toys, and you will quickly realize that this is a classic toy and it belongs on a different shelf with other classic toys, not with your more modern toys. Here's a picture that shows how it scales up against other Regult toys that have come since the old Matchbox days. As you can see, it's still the biggest and baddest of them all, although the newer ones certainly win as far as line art accuracy, features, and articulation. So, should you go hunting down a Matchbox Battlepod? Probably not. If you have a display shelf dedicated to vintage toys and you haven't managed to pick up a Matchbox Battlepod yet, then I think it would look fine in that vintage display shelf. If you're someone looking for only the best possible toy, right now the reigning Regult is the High Metal R. Otherwise, if you're looking for a 1/60 scale, you're just out of luck. If you put this toy in with your modern 1/60s, it's just not going to look right. Thank you for viewing. Check out anymoon.com for my full article.